No English?
No.
You want me to get a Spanish speaker here?
Fine.
Step out. If you don't come out of the vehicle, I'm going to pull you out of the vehicle. Do you understand that? Out of the vehicle! Get out! Get out of the...
On March 13th, 2025, Officer Richie Juper initiated a traffic stop after observing a driver repeatedly swerving between lanes. The suspect, Mr. Garcia, pulled into a nearby parking lot. What followed raised significant questions under constitutional and statutory law. Part 1, the lawful stop and the exit order. The Fourth Amendment requires reasonable articulable suspicion to justify a traffic stop. Observed lane violations meet that threshold under Terry v. Ohio. Once the stop is lawful, the officer's authority to order the driver from the vehicle is categorical, no additional justification required. The Supreme Court established this in Pennsylvania versus Mimms in 1977. The court held that the government's legitimate interest in officer safety outweighs the minimal intrusion of an exit order. Every refusal to comply with that exit order is therefore a refusal of a lawful command, not a gray area, not a matter of discretion.
Hi, sir. I'm Officer Richie Juper. Is there a reason you're not able to maintain your lane? What's going on? You speak English? Spanish? Okay, you want to shut your car off for me? Do you understand shutting your car off? No English?
No.
You want me to get a Spanish speaker here?
Fine.
Spanish? Turn your car off. Shut your vehicle off. It sounds like you speak English pretty well.
No.
No, but you understand what I'm saying? Alright, go ahead and shut your car off for me. Sir, if you don't shut your vehicle off, I'm going to have you step out of the vehicle.
The officer calls his Spanish-speaking partner to see if he can assist him.
Juper off 31, can you get a Spanish speaker here, please? I'll be in the parking lot of Crown Park. You have your registration and your insurance? Hey, buddy. Hey, are you close to 19? No? You been drinking at all today?
No.
No? Okay. Were you taking pictures of somebody? Little English, but I mean, you're nodding, so you kind of understand what I'm saying.
I don't know what to think.
Okay. All right, well, we'll get it squared away. We have somebody come and speak Spanish. So your vehicle, you need to shut it off.
After a few more questions, the officer realizes that the suspect understands a bit more English than he's pretending.
So we're going to have you step out of the vehicle. Unlock your door, please. Juper off 31. Drivers are refusing to step out. Sir, out of your vehicle, please. Step out.
Why do you think?
Out of the vehicle.
And after ignoring this command again, the officer uses more authority in hopes that the man will comply.
Jefe. If you don't come out of the vehicle, I'm going to pull you out of the vehicle. Do you understand that? Step out.
I don't know. No, speaking.
And after more failed attempts and failed translations, the officer is about to give him one final warning.
Out of the vehicle. Sir, I'm going to break your window and pull you out of the vehicle.
And finally, the driver makes a move that pushes the officer's patience over the edge.
Driver, just rolled the window up. Out of the vehicle! Get out! Get out of the vehicle! Get out of the vehicle! Put your hands behind your back.
What happened?
Turn over on your side.
Okay.
Alpha 31, I got the drive out of the vehicle. He's in PC.
Backup arrives, but it's a little too late. However, officers will soon search and question the suspect and get the exact reason behind his adamant actions and refusals to exit his vehicle.
He wouldn't get out. I tried my window breaker, wouldn't open. He finally unlocked the door. I ripped him out of the car. He wasn't doing it, listening to a damn thing I was saying. Yep.
Yeah, take. Is this you or him?
It's me.
Okay, we able to stand him up?
Yeah. We'll see, because he's awfully...
I got my fire.
Is he too?
Yeah, for sure. All right, Hefe, we're going to stand you up.
Stand up.
Up.
Part 2, Use of Force Analysis. When verbal commands fail, the governing standard is Graham versus Connor, decided by the Supreme Court in 1989. Force must be objectively reasonable. That reasonableness is assessed from the perspective of a reasonable officer on the scene, not in hindsight, not in a courtroom. Graham identifies 3 factors: the severity of the crime at issue, whether the suspect posed an immediate threat, and whether the suspect was actively resisting. Here, all 3 factors weigh toward lawful force. DUI is a public safety offense. A running vehicle is an active threat vector. Garcia's refusal was sustained and unambiguous. Officer Juper progressed through the force continuum in documented steps. Verbal commands escalating warnings, a mechanical window breaker attempt, then physical removal. That progression is the textbook definition of measured escalation. Courts assess not just the final act of force, but the entire sequence leading to it. Part 3, the language barrier and due process. Mr. Garcia claimed to speak no English. This introduces a 14th Amendment due process consideration, whether the commands were meaningfully communicated. Federal courts do not require officers to provide an interpreter at the roadside. However, documented good faith efforts to secure one are legally protective. Officer Juper requested a Spanish-speaking partner within the first 2 minutes of contact. That action satisfies the due process good faith standard. Notably, the footage reflects that Garcia appeared to understand English commands, nodding in response to questions posed without translation. This is evidentiary, not speculative. Under the voluntariness framework in Schneckloth versus Bustamante from 1973, courts assess consent by the totality of circumstances. Language barriers are a relevant but not dispositive factor. The presence of a Spanish-speaking officer at the jail before the breathalyzer was administered materially strengthens the voluntariness of that consent.
There we go. Let's take him back to the back of your car. I got this.
Leave it.
I'm wearing my fire. my
You got it
father.
for a second search. And then,
Yeah, can you hold up for 1 second?
yeah, I got it. I got it.
I call my father. Eso no. Hey. I call my father.
Gloves on?
Yeah, you can hold it for a second.
You could call your father?
Yes.
Yeah, you can call him later.
¿Por qué a los delincuentes no? Dime, ¿por qué a los delincuentes no los tratas así? Dime.
Welcome.
Dímelo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Give me a card.
¿Por qué a los delincuentes no los tratas así? Dime. Dímelo.
With the Spanish-speaking officer present, we get the exact reason why he refused to exit.
You're just saying that he didn't do anything that
¿Sí o no?
what happened right now.
No sé por qué me trata tan mal. Yo
Now
no
he's
soy
saying he doesn't
delincuente.
understand why he's detained, why you guys are treating him this way, why he's being dragged around.
Because he wouldn't get out of the vehicle and shut the vehicle off or do anything I asked him to do.
I told him that. He still doesn't think it's true.
Well, that's fine. You can think it's not true. It's what happened.
No has tomado nada? No has tomado un tipo de cerveza, alcohol, nada? I just asked him if he had anything to drink tonight, any kind of beer, alcohol, anything, even a small sip. He said no.
Despite his continued assertion of innocence, Mr. Garcia did indeed have alcohol in his system. More on that in a moment.
Can you ask him why he refused to step out of the vehicle when I asked him to?
He's saying why didn't you step out when the officer asked you to step out? He's like, I had a little bit of a worry. I'm just worried that my family's gonna find out about my attitude. He said he wants to do SFSCs, but he doesn't want to get out of the car now. So I'm just kind of
I'll take that as a refusal.
yeah, I'm just kind of giving him a little bit. See, señor, si no sabes del carro, vamos a tomar de eso.
No,
so
no,
I went
no.
back and forth with him.
Yeah, yeah.
Explained to him, hey, listen, we're obviously worried about your driving, what's going on, everything you observed. You know, would you like to submit the standoff sobriety test? He's like, yes. I was like, okay. Do you mind stepping out of the vehicle for me then so we can get these cuffs off and then do it? He's like, no, I want to step out. I'm like, sir, if you want to do these, you need to step out. He's like, I don't want to step out. Just listen to me. I'm like, sir, if you're not willing to step out, that's going to be, I'm going to take that as a refusal that you don't want to complete. I want to complete them. Okay, sir. But you need to step out of the vehicle. Just listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. So I was like, listen, sir, if you don't step out of the vehicle, it's going to be a refusal. And before we go ahead and do that, I'm going to explain to you what you're refusing so you're aware about what you're refusing. I explained to him the standardized sobriety test. He's like, okay, just listen to me. I was like, okay, you know what? Do you understand what I told you so far? He said, yes. I said, okay, cool. What do you want to say? He's like, listen, when I went to go get my license, they said I can't see far, or I can't see far at all, and that's a problem with my eyes. But that being said, I can't do what you told me to. I'm like, sir, do you want to do them, yes or no? He said no. Okay.
That's refusal. That's it. Okay.
Clear speech and everything?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Kept repeating himself, couldn't understand me, kept interrupting me.
As soon as I walked up the window, Sergeant, I could smell it.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
it was.
I'll tell you everything that
it was a no-brainer.
interrupting me during Miranda, during explanations, during Taylor warnings, during implied consent. And I don't like it.
The suspect gets out of the car one final time and gives his tearful version of his perspective.
Are you hurt at all?
¿Estás herido o dolido?
Dios no te tiempo. ¿Por qué, amigo? ¿Por qué?
Oh, yeah, what happened
¿Qué es lo que pasó,
when
señor?
you were stopped?
Cuando el oficial te paró.
Le pregunto a Dios, ¿por qué? ¿Por qué?
I asked God why me.
Did you roll up your window and refuse to get out of the car?
Levantaste la ventana cuando el oficial te preguntó que salieras del carro.
Why?
Yes, I know. ¿Por qué?
Porque tuve miedo.
Because I was scared.
Did you get hurt when you were pulled out of the car?
Cuando el oficial te sacó del carro, ¿te dices? No.
Muchas veces me han dicho que migración me lleva a uno.
I'm just afraid because a lot of times I'm told that
Que
immigration is
migración es mala gente,
and
por
immigration
eso.
is bad for people. That's why I was scared.
Part 4, Implied Consent and the Breathalyzer. In virtually every U.S. jurisdiction, operating a motor vehicle on public roads constitutes implied consent to chemical testing, upon lawful DUI arrest. The Supreme Court addressed breath test authority in Birchfield versus North Dakota in 2016. The court held that a breath test incident to a lawful arrest requires no separate warrant. Garcia's BAC results 0.176 and 0.179 are approximately 2.2 times the legal limit of 0.08. In many states, a BAC above 0.15 triggers aggravated DUI charges with enhanced penalties. His earlier refusal to exit the patrol vehicle for standardized field sobriety testing constitutes a separate act of obstruction independent of the roadside refusals. Part 5. Resisting and obstructing without violence. The resisting and obstructing charge requires two elements: first, knowledge that an officer is performing a lawful duty, and second, willful opposition to that duty through nonviolent means. Both elements are well supported here. Garcia's conduct, refusing to shut off the vehicle, refusing exit commands, rolling up the window in response to a final warning, and later refusing to exit the patrol car collectively, satisfies willful obstruction. His stated motive fear of immigration consequences is humanly understandable. It is not, however, a legal defense to resisting a lawful arrest. Courts have consistently held that subjective fear or misunderstanding does not negate the knowing element of obstruction where an officer's authority is visibly and repeatedly asserted. Part 6. Grades. Officer Richie Juper receives a B+. The stop was constitutionally grounded. The exit order was lawful under Mimms. Force escalation was documented and measured. The attempt to secure bilingual assistance reflects due process awareness. Two deductions apply. First, allowing the suspect's vehicle to remain running through an extended standoff created an unnecessary officer safety exposure. Second, the record of Miranda completion is unclear from the footage. Neither issue constitutes a constitutional violation. Both represent actionable training opportunities. Mr. Garcia receives a C. Operating a vehicle at 0.176 BAC is not a technical violation. It is a public safety offense that endangered every person on that road. That is the baseline of this encounter. His sustained refusals compounded an already serious criminal exposure with an obstruction charge. His apparent underrepresentation of his English comprehension is a relevant credibility factor in any subsequent proceeding. Credit is given for nonviolent behavior after physical removal for candor during the post-arrest interpreter conversation and for ultimate cooperation with the breathalyzer. Part 7. Lessons learned. For law enforcement, language barriers are not procedural obstacles. They are due process triggers. Deploy bilingual resources early. Document every attempt. Secure interpreter presence before any waiver or consent is obtained. For motorists, fear of immigration consequences is not a legal basis to refuse a lawful police command. Compliance preserves legal options. Resistance eliminates them. A running vehicle during a prolonged standoff is an active tactical risk. Departments should train officers to treat vehicle shutdown as the first enforcement priority, not a repeated request. Miranda administered under a language barrier without a confirmed interpreter present creates appellate vulnerabilities. Custodial advisements require verified comprehension, not just recitation. Let us know your assessment in the comments below. If you found this legal breakdown useful, consider subscribing for more analysis of police interactions and constitutional law. Thank you for watching.